What's going on, everybody? So it's being reported that Chris Paul is finally going to opt out of his contract and leave the Clippers. Doc Rivers is saying that he's not going anywhere, but there are a lot of team sources that are saying that the players are really tired of Doc Rivers, saying he's a horrible coach. You know, a lot of other things have gone into it. We've been hearing whispers about this over the last couple years. You know, Big Baby Davis, he's come out and said that the dude should have been fired a long time ago. Whether you agree with that or not, Doc Rivers has not lived up to his contract expectations, in my opinion. Now, you may say that the Clippers, every time they're trying to make a run, somebody gets injured, whatever like that. But keep in mind, they're not really advancing out of any part of the playoffs. Every team has to deal with injuries, but the better teams, even with injuries, get out of the first round. Doc Rivers, let's put it like this: Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Rondo saved this man's legacy. We have to just be honest about it. Look, it's not about the fact that, you know, it's not many black coaches in the league or people of color that are coaches in the league and stuff like that. You know, in my opinion, you have to really earn your keep. And I know it's harder in certain cases to earn your keep as a person of color, but when you get that opportunity, you got to show out, bruh. You got to really show out. You got to be a guy that, you know, they know, like a Mike Tomlin. You got 2 Super Bowls. You got to be doing something. Or maybe does he have 1? I don't know. I know he got a Super Bowl at least, but you have to do something to be like, all right, you know what? You can't be a Marvin Lewis, you know what I'm saying, with the Cincinnati Bengals. And that's what Doc Rivers is, but he has a ring though, so we can't really put him in that category. But the ring is so far gone now. Like, the Boston Celtics are so far gone from this guy. And at this point, Chris Paul, like I said, look, Chris Paul got to leave, bruh. I don't know where he gonna go. There was some rumors that he might end up with LeBron James. I don't see how that would work, because you would have to make Kyrie Irving, you know, a 2 guard, and I don't think that would work. Maybe it would work because he's more of a scorer, but like I said, it's very difficult for me to understand that Doc Rivers has been getting away with this for so long. Now, his son, you know, Austin, has been playing better. I can't, you know, put that on him as far as the fact that, yo, this dude also has his son playing on the team, because Austin showed up, you know, for the most part of last year. So this is not about Austin. This is strictly about Doc Rivers. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, at some point, you have to realize that you have to get your team to the next level. Now, again, people have said that the decisions that he makes, you know, we call him plays in critical moments, aren't really good. You know, he favors certain players over others. He believes in the wrong players. He's put the wrong pieces together on the team. All of that is him. That's nobody else, bruh. You can, if you go, what is that saying, Bill Parcells, when you shop for the groceries? This dude is shopping for the groceries for his team, and there's no results. You know what I'm saying? And then you got a dude like Chris Paul, he's a star player. He's a good player. He can't excel if this man is bringing in pieces that don't mesh. And that's why you got to give a lot of these guys credit, these GMs and stuff like that, that bring in, you know, they bring in the proper pieces that mesh on the team. That's very difficult to do with all these guys that are prima donnas and they're making so much money and they want the ball. It's very hard. That's why I give a lot of credit to coaches like, you know, Popovich. You know, I don't even know how many more I would give credit to other than Popovich right now. I gotta look at it. The dude from Boston, I like him. The coach from Boston, I kind of like that guy too. I'm thinking about Jason Kidd. I like him. I think with the Bucks. It's certain coaches that you can see they have an impact on their team, and I'm looking for impactful coaches. And I don't think that Doc Rivers is an impactful coach. You know what I'm saying? It's similar to Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson has a lot of rings, but when you look at the people that played for him, like many people that are watching this podcast or listening to this podcast right now, I'm gonna go ahead and say if we had Jordan and Pippen, we could probably get at least 1 championship. We probably wouldn't get 3. You know what I'm saying? We probably wouldn't be known as a Zen Master, but with that type of talent, I'm pretty sure we could at least get 1 out of the 3. So when you're talking about coaches and people that bring out the best of their players, I don't think about Doc Rivers. You know what I'm saying? And Chris Paul opting out of his contract, this has been a long time coming. People want rings. You don't want to be a Charles Barkley, a guy that's running around bald, overweight, and just talking about everybody else. And like I said, he was great when he played, but he's turned into a mockery of himself with everything that he's doing. But he was a great player. But most people don't even want to be compared to him just because of what he is now. It's just a bunch of BS. And whenever they're in conversation, you know, Shaq and, you know, Kenny, and they're like, yo, you don't know nothing about championships, that hurts Charles Barkley deep down. And I think that that's where a lot of his comedy comes from, because he has to be jovial. When you don't got a ring and you're one of the greatest players that's played, you know, he's on the 50 greatest players list, that means something to an individual. You know what I'm saying? That means something to Charles Barkley, believe it or not. You know, that hurts. Because no matter what you did, you couldn't beat that one man, Michael Jordan. So this is what it is right now. Chris Paul needs to go someplace out of the West, because obviously the West is the Warriors. The West is the Warriors. Don't worry about the West. That's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't worry anything about that. Just go ahead and get on with your business, because it's a wrap, dog. We all know that. So moving forward, I would like to see if he ends up someplace else in the East, preferably with the Cavaliers. I don't know how that would work. They got to do something with a deal. But I like that he's opting out of his contract, and I don't think he should go back as long as Doc Rivers is the coach there. And I don't know, maybe you guys like Doc Rivers. I don't know. You got to let me know though. You know what I'm saying? Do you like him? What don't you like about him? But I've watched this man. People don't even remember that this man was in Orlando and blew a 3-1 lead in the playoffs. Do you guys remember that about Doc Rivers? You guys, a lot of you guys, you just think about Boston. This man has a legacy of failure. And at some point, you can't be rewarded for it. And I'm just being brutally honest, bro. I believe in giving people opportunities that deserve it. He's had his opportunity. I think he's worn out his welcome with the LA Clippers. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking out for the players. They need some fresh blood in there. Let me know what you guys and girls are thinking. I'm going to get back at you guys soon. One love.